Yeah, you just be perfectly silent. They can. Okay, yeah, they can hear you fine. That's perfect. Okay, they're all waving to you. Okay, so yeah, just type 15 and get it going. I will follow you.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I see you got it. Oh, you got a fellow Canadian. All right, it's perfect. Okay, so go ahead and start talking, and I will mute myself.
Oh, that sounds good.
Okay, good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, here we go. He's playing his KIA.
I'm just gonna play King's Indian attack because that's all I know.
It's fine.
But I'm pretty sure I could have grabbed like D4 control if I felt comfortable. And
Alright, this setup is very odd. That D6 square.
I think it's good for me if I challenge this.
D6 square.
Wait.
I'm not sure. But I don't think he'd listen to you guys anyway. Okay, he should take back with the pawn. Oh, he should take back with the pawn there. Okay, I don't know what this guy's doing, but...
Okay, people usually don't take back
yeah,
there.
people usually don't take. He's right.
That's...
Okay, he should play Queen D6 here. Queen D6 to stunt Black's development. Queen D6 is a really important move here. It makes it very hard for Black to finish development. Yeah. You guys see why Queen D6 is so good?
I think I can get...
No, he cannot hear me.
Out.
That's why I'm talking over him sometimes.
Just where to move my knight.
But I'm trying to make it so... Yeah. Okay, so he should be thinking about Queen D6.
E1, but that blocks the E file.
Because his knight's defended.
D2 blocks the bishop. H4 puts my knight on the edge.
Yeah, he shouldn't need to move his knight.
We'll go D2 anyways.
Okay, I mean, it makes sense to go knight D2. But see, now this is the problem. This is the problem. Because now Black's actually okay.
I'm just gonna play...
Like, his idea was good. Knight D2 to C4, but
with my
this
knight.
is the problem.
I don't know. Get it out of the...
Yeah. And now this is probably just equal. Because Black has two center pawns.
Except I'm kind of blocking my C and or my dark squared bishop. So maybe I could get it on B2 to try and attack the king.
How bad would 10 E5 have been? Not the worst. I think I would actually sacrifice the exchange there, though. I would take on F3, Hataro. I'd take on F3, take on E5. No, the knight was still on F3 keepsake, don't forget. He was talking about a move 10 before he moved the knight. But I think I sacrificed the exchange there, and I think it's actually good for Black.
Am I going to lose the B2
So Queen D6 is better. But you're right. It does make sense.
Shoot. I don't have anything that blocks it, so I think I just have to move.
Yeah, you gotta go King H1 here. I mean, white is still fine, but not better. Ace, are you kidding me? Bishop takes B2?
Can I get Rook B1 and save it?
I mean, maybe it was okay.
Bishop
You might be right.
Bishop, Queen, Queen. I think that saves it.
But wasn't being threatened. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Ace Rook. Maybe. Yeah, I know, I get it. Yeah, E5 was good.
Now if needed, I could play E5 to cut the bishop off. But I don't really know what that's accomplishing for me. What's a good square for my knight?
Yeah, see, his knight actually would want to be at F3 now.
D4 is really nice.
So the problem is, like, playing knight D2 kind of blocked in all his pieces.
I'm getting attacking both, blocking his pawn and attacking his two side ones.
Like, I might almost play knight F3 here, anyway. Yeah, he's a random Canadian guy.
So we'll try getting my knight to D4. His white light squared bishop is really bad.
I think he was just saying it for that one time, but yeah, I agree with CloudSat though. Yeah, because I'm definitely not using an engine, so. I wish I was.
So I'll need to play c3 though before this.
Yeah,
actually, wait.
c3 makes
can I play
sense.
d4?
Also,
Because if I
queen
do
e2 makes sense
c3,
to play bishop e3.
Knight d4, he can take.
Yeah, I wouldn't be playing knight
still
d4.
good.
Just queen e2, rook d1, bishop e3.
I also need to get my c1 bishop active.
Yeah, if you're using a computer, you're kind of defeating the purpose. You're not helping your chess, by the way. Because you're not thinking about the position. You're just letting the computer evaluate it for you. So. Yeah, it wasn't directed at you particularly, Keepsake, just in general. Okay, so you played c3. Again, I would try to move the queen. Queen e2, bishop e3.
Now he takes.
Okay, this looks really bad. You see why taking is bad? It isolates the e6 pawn. So you see how the e6 pawn's now a target here? I guess he could play e5 right away. But I know it doesn't seem good to kind of open up white's bishop like that.
Is there a fork with the knight? No, I think the knight's bad.
Yeah, I agree, Higgs. Okay, bishop e8. This is really odd. I mean, you want to play queen e2 anyway. Queen g4 is also makes sense too. But I kind of like queen e2.
So giving him control of the...
Yeah, you could have played queen e2 instead of bishop takes e4.
I'm playing
I would have also
bishop
said that's good.
E.
Yeah, black did have a nice center, but now it's completely ruined. The problem is follower hasn't developed his
my rooks can get connected.
bishop
Maybe I should have gone queen
on c1.
E2.
I don't know. He should have played queen e2. if you attack the queen 3 times, you win. 3 queen checks. Duh. Yeah. Okay, so this guy relocated his bishop to f7.
So his bishop's still doing.
I mean, okay,
good.
I guess it's more active there when he goes e5.
Can I
but...
trap this queen at all?
Yeah, he should play bishop e3.
Bishop e3.
Yeah, bishop e3, develop with tempo. It's good. I agree. But see, now I wish his queen was on e2, so now queen b5 wouldn't be possible, because he could just take on b5. See, queen e1 was a mistake. Okay, obviously you can't take on a7, but...
bishop takes a7.
No, it doesn't work. b6. No!
That's good.
No. Yeah, you just gotta know not to take those. You gotta know that your pieces become trapped there, yeah.
Looks not as good.
Nope. I agree. Yeah, this is bad news. Maybe knight a5 here? Knight a5 is tricky, right? Knight a5? Maybe he'll take the bishop, then knight takes c6? It's hype. Knight a5 hype, guys, come on.
That doesn't look good.
This is when you have to start making bad or good out of a bad position.
Unless... What if I do knight to d4? So if he takes... Then
yeah, he has the same idea.
Fork.
He has the same idea.
Let's try that.
But the problem is he can take the bishop, or sorry, take the knight first. But it's good, he had the same idea. Yeah, 95 was hype. Yeah. Blake liked it. Alex liked it. Misha's computer liked it. Book fan likes it with triple tryhards. Double tryhards. Yeah, it was hype. I mean, it didn't really do anything. He could just take it, but then at least you isolate the A pawn and the C pawn. So you have some competition.
Even if he doesn't take, I could do like...
Yeah, you gotta look for tricks when you're losing. You have to look for tricks when you're losing. Yeah, CloudSat's right.
Oh wait, bishop takes.
Queen e2 preferring queen e2.
Takes and rook.
Okay, so he took.
No.
All right, well,
that's not.
At least he got rid of the
all.
dark squared bishop, I suppose.
So he got his pawn back. Plus, I'm still losing my bishop.
Yeah, white is dropping a pawn,
That's
unfortunately.
unfortunate.
That's why knight d4 wasn't as good as knight a5. No, rook d1 doesn't help, because then he can just move the bishop. There's no pin there. He has to take back the piece.
Oh.
Okay, well now he can take on a
Okay,
c6.
it's so bad, but I think he had a free pawn there.
Take on c6.
Unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah, you could take on b6 too. But no, you couldn't take on b6 because the bishop could take back on d4. Don't forget the bishop was defending that square.
His pawn?
Yeah. So careful about trying to be too clever. Just end up hanging all your pieces.
He takes a pawn.
Okay, but it's only 2 pawns. I mean, he's got 2 pawns for the piece. It's not end of the world, end of the world.
Game.
Oh, free piece! Free
No,
piece! I knew he was gonna do that. Free piece.
Forking something.
Free piece. Look at that. See? Never give up.
Is he hanging something?
Yes, he is. Take it. Free piece.
I think my queen can take.
Queens go forward. Yeah, it's free piece. See?
I'm going to take
Never give
with
up.
my queen.
Now he's completely winning, just up 2 pawns. It's free.
Okay. I don't see anything that could punish it, but then again, when I took the a7 pawn...
Okay, well he can take a2. He can take a2, but then you can take b6. What? I mean, I guess defend d4. Rook f d1. Apparently queen e1 better than queen e2. Blake's right. Queen e1 defends b4 from hanging pieces.
Oh wait, no, he's getting...
Queen 6 a2, queen tapped? Oh yeah, rook a1. Good point.
D4,
Good point.
That.
CloudSat is right. Yeah, rook a1 did trap the queen.
Let's not let him
Not anymore though, but you are right. It did trap the queen. I forgot that detail. No, he was right. It was trapped. Rook a1 did trap it. He was right. Yeah. It's not trapped now because it has c4, but he just played b5. Yeah, it's pretty high Pacific, I must say. Especially when they hang pieces to you. It's pretty good. Of course, I'm going to have to still get really mad at Follower for everything he did, but I won't be too hard.
Now I believe I can get b5.
Okay, he could take on b5. He could if he wanted to. Bishop takes b5. Queen takes a2. And then maybe b3? Okay, now he can play a4. a4 is really strong.
Okay. I don't really want to take this e pawn because it's stopping his light squared bishop. So
a4 is strong.
What if I do like a4?
Queen a4 is good too, but I prefer a4. Yeah, a4 is better. Because queen a4, then b2 hangs at the end. Queen takes, bishop takes, rook takes b2.
So I'll do a4.
Yeah, good. a4 is good. Very good. I mean, he's completely winning. Just have to mop it up. I think he's got it.
Okay, now...
Queen d6 looks good.
Take with a pawn.
Hitting the e pawn,
So
maybe?
I'm gonna go rook on f to e1 to try and take his e6 pawn.
Okay. That's a good move too. Black can take on b5 and play queen b7 check, but... I know, Higgs. I was being a bit facetious. But white is on his way. Have some confidence. Okay, so that's a check. So just king g1. No, he can't. He could, it wouldn't be fair.
Okay. So he checked me.
Yep.
I think just g1.
Yep.
I don't think I can do any interesting... I don't think that's actually threatening anything. So I'm just going to do g1.
Okay. So So just take on e6, I guess?
Is that threatening anything?
No. Not that I see. I mean, maybe he wants to go bishop h1 or something, but
I don't think
I don't even know
so.
what that does. Like, just go rook d2.
Like, what if I just do takes e1? Now I'm threatening his bishop to move. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, so he wants to go bishop h1, I think. He wants to do some tricky stuff.
Well, I guess I could have done d5 to
Yeah.
stop something.
So I think now he should play
Okay, now
d5
it's
maybe.
starting to look scary.
I think d5 is good here.
I don't know what it does. What if d5?
I like
Is that just
d5.
like
Forcing bishop takes d5, then rook
d5,
e7. And then you're threatening all sorts of nastiness. Because black's king is very unsafe now. Even more unsafe than white's, even though white's diagonal is opened.
This is almost checkmate, isn't it? Queen to g2.
Yeah, at least he sees
Almost
queen
didn't
g2.
see
That's
that.
good. But I really like that move d5.
So just
Rook
this
d2 makes
d2.
sense, but I like d5 to cut off that diagonal. It sacrifices a pawn, but I think it's just
I think
temporary.
my next move, I'm going to try queen to c4.
Well, he
so
said
that I can
d5.
get- and if he doesn't see it, I'll get like a
He
rook
himself
to
said d5.
e6
I think he just didn't want to
discovery
sacrifice
check
a
and
pawn.
take his queen.
Well, d5, bishop c5, rook e7 was the point. And then he can't go
What
bishop
does
h1
that
because
do?
bishop c4 mates was the idea.
I don't like this at all. He just needs to leave.
See, this is kind of
What
why I wanted to play d5.
Rook
I mean, this is fine,
f2.
but it's a little scary.
What is this threatening?
I think he has to go queen to c3. Queen to c3. I don't even know what it does, but I would just try to get it out of there anyway. Queen
I feel
c4 seems
like
okay
I'm
too,
really
sure.
close to mating him as well.
But queen c3, I like to get on that
Yeah,
diagonal,
get
and then
mated.
play d5, and then threaten like
Um,
rook e7, queen g7.
Should I offer a queen trade?
Yeah, queen c4 looks good too. But then he can just go
Just
like king h8 or something.
Queen to b, or queen to c3.
Threaten discover checks. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. That looks safe-ish.
Okay, he did my move.
Please don't just mate me.
He did my move. I like it. Yeah, black just hung a piece for like nothing. That Potzer's Playground hype. Potzer's Playground hype. You can't beat it. Okay, now bishop c4 looks really nice. Now bishop c4, right? Bishop c4 hype. See, this is the point. Now
What
bishop
if I-
c4, now you have rook.
Oh, what if I do bishop to c4?
Yeah, he sees it,
Kind
see?
of like
Bishop
a
c4.
Because I think if he moves, then I get a free rook
Yeah, you get a free something.
check. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That looks nice.
This looks really good. Now rook moves. Rook moves win everything. Man.
So, like, if he moves his queen to square, do I just get it?
Free everything. Free everything. Rook takes g6 mates, right? Rook takes g6 double checks d5 mate. Yeah. You guys are right. Rook takes g6 and d5 mate. Yeah. Yeah, this is triple check, quadruple queen fork, quintuple crisscross. I mean, this is just going to be all sorts of fun. Yeah, double checks are good. Okay, well, let's see if he can see all this, because it's not exactly like the easiest thing to see. It's playing a lot more than 1700, I'd say.
It's looking good. I don't see anything he can do. Unless maybe something... No? Well, that still works.
I'm not sure if it's over yet, but he only has 4 minutes, don't forget. There could be some shenanigans left. Yeah, if he wins the queen, I'm not gonna be upset. Where's the hype, guys? I don't think Black's gonna resign. He should in theory, but I don't think he's going to.
Actually, look, now that I look at it more, I might have mate.
Ah!
I just pushed like the D pawn.
Yeah, he sees
Wait, I'll
sees
just move
something.
my rook out of the way. He moves to.
Yeah, rook c8's possible, but it
If he moves
loses.
to H8, I think I win.
It loses a piece, or
He moves
something.
to
It loses a lot.
G7. He might escape.
Yeah, I think rook c8's best actually, but it loses a lot.
Unless I'm doing like. Oh, unless I do rook to E7. So after this, rook to E7, D5, D6, GG.
Okay, so yeah, he actually played the best move.
Or free queen.
Well, it's not a free queen, but
Oh, not
he
quite
gets a free something. It's a
What
free
is-
exchange and up 3 pawns. Yeah, follower is like, yeah, follower
I
is
think
really
he's
good
gonna
for how little he's played,
Rook
for sure.
takes G6 check. G takes 6. Bishop takes.
Okay, let's see if he can
D5.
figure this out. Yeah, 3 pawns in the exchange.
Check.
It's pretty good. Or you can take a bishop too. You can just take on h1.
Then he has to move.
Bishop takes d5 and then
Trying to
just
do
king
it.
takes
I think
h1.
it's safer.
Might
I
even be
don't know.
better. Oh boy.
There's probably a mistake
Oh, actually,
here.
this is not bad
I
either.
think
This is not bad either.
works.
It kind of transposes. This is not bad either, because bishop takes d5 is check. Well, king h1 is illegal.
If he moves his king instead.
Well, I mean, he has to move his king to h8.
If he moves his king, I might be in trouble. Yeah.
He's not in trouble. Just take the
So
queen.
here we can trade.
Take the queen and take the rook. It's you basically just want an extra pawn. Now he's up 4 pawns in the exchange. Take the queen, take the
Oh,
rook,
we
and
should
then
have
after
done
bishop
that.
takes
That's
d5,
okay.
move your rook, and then you're up 4 pawns in the exchange.
Unless he's there
Five
late.
pawns in the exchange. Sorry, 5 pawns in
Right.
the exchange.
I'll just trade.
Good. Okay, he can't mess this up now. Just take the rook on c3 at the end.
And now I think I win his bishop as well.
No, just take on c3.
Because if he takes rook,
Bishop takes
Okay.
h1 is not a clean piece. Rook c1 check, and you lose your rook.
sounds good to me.
Yeah, this is good. And now if bishop takes d5, just rook moves. This is over. This is over. Okay, now just move the rook and GG.
Oh, interesting. I think that was the better move for him.
Yeah, it was. But just don't forget about your rook.
So, well, first things first. Let's get this guy out of the
Yeah,
way
good. Okay, this is over.
and start pushing pawns.
This is over.
Oh, I'm kind of low on time, so I can't think too much.
Really nice. Really nice. One small slip up with the bishop takes a7, but after that.
I'm just gonna keep pushing this.
Nah, I would also keep pushing. Just don't play rook a2. Just don't play rook a2. Because bishops move diagonally. And they move far.
It doesn't look like there's anything. Oh, he can do it. No, I can just take.
Okay, now just a7
What does
just
that
wins.
do? I have to be careful of tactics again, but I don't think this actually.
Well, we
does
can all blame
anything.
Cheat for why Follower
just
is so
gonna
bad
keep
at
pushing
openings,
my
because
pawn.
he's the one who taught him the opening. So let's all blame Cheat for being a bad influence. Okay, so for rook a1, just rook d8 check.
I think he'll do like a
Oh, actually, it's trickier.
F1
No, it's actually
check.
trickier.
Then I just move it.
Because
out of
bishop
the way.
d5 at the end. Bishop d5 at the end wins
So
wins
my
the pawn
pawns
for
are
nothing.
all on the right color.
So it doesn't
This
actually-
bishop is doing like absolutely nothing.
He actually just loses a pawn, but he trades rooks, so it makes it easier. No, a8 because bishop doesn't help, because you just take on a8 and then play bishop d5. Yeah, he actually loses his a pawn, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
But then
Never mind.
Here,
Now he
I don't
wins a
have
rook.
anything.
Yeah.
hope.
So now if rook a1, just rook d8 check. Okay, yeah. Now rook d8 check and queen. Yeah, he can do that too, Zwish. Anything win.
So check first.
Yeah, king f2 was slightly better, but like
And
it does
then
not
we can
matter.
make this guy queen. We'll lose him, but whatever.
Okay, 2 rooks versus a bishop should be good enough.
I think this game is over, though.
I agree. I think follower's quick enough to finish this game. d6, d7, d5,
Well,
d6, d7.
Let's start.
Okay. Or just maybe 2 rooks, whatever.
Kind of want to. I think I can just mate him pretty much.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh. Or not. Whatever.
Okay.
I'll just start
Sure.
pushing my pawns. I'm pretty sure I could just mate him with 2 rooks, but
Yeah, just don't stalemate. Don't
watch as I
stalemate.
stalemate him now.
That would be a
Well, we'll just
Calamitous.
protect this other guy as well.
result. No resigning in Potter's
And
playground.
then push the D pawn.
Alright. He keeps queening pawns. Cheat, please. No one cares. It's fine.
Can I just whatever, I'll just get a queen to be
I like
safe.
how he
I
can't
know how to
decide.
wait, though.
He's like, should I make with 2 rooks? No, I'll just get a queen. No, but I can
That
make with
is
2 rooks,
not a
can I?
stalemate.
No, I'll just get a queen.
No, he has 1 square.
It's
still.
great. I love the indecision.
And
I love the
it should be
indecision.
GG now.
Okay, just no stalemate. I see a potential stalemate. King h3, king f3 stalemate. Don't play king f3. Check, please. Don't play king f3. Check. Oh, thank God. Okay. I think he's got it. Just keep checking. He should be fine.
Well, I think it's mate.
Mate in 2. Queen g3 and rook h8. Yeah, he got it. He got it.
And checkmate.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
got
that
it.
was a bit longer than needed.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I didn't blunder.
I beg to differ, but the amount of hype you generated in the chat was unbelievable. You should check the chat. Like, people went crazy.
Oh well, I guess I did blunder my bishop.
Yeah,
then
you
I
did.
saved
But
it
it's okay.
because he blundered back.
You played fantastically after that point, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, everyone was getting really hype over that game. And he was 100 points higher than you too.
Oh yay! I went to 1382.
Yeah, he got 22 points for that. It's pretty good. Okay,
Okay.
do you want to examine me?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm watching.
Perfect. How do I?
You're examining it, right?
What-
So just
what
type
do I do?
examine chess kid.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, perfect.
There.
Okay, so you can see the board, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you played your stuff, which is fine. His opening was really odd. I don't really know what he was doing.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen it either. Okay. So he played c6 here, which is, I mean, I don't really know what that is, but okay. So you played d3, which is fine. Okay, so I played g6. You played knight d2, which is fine. Okay, you played e4, which is good. Okay, so he took, and you took back with the knight. I think here you want to take back with the pawn. Because you want to kind of open things up for your pieces. And after knight takes e4, for example, he plays like d5. And I think he's okay here. But if you take back with the pawn, now if he plays d5, now you can, whoops. Not there, sorry. So yeah, if you take back with a pawn, now he plays d5, now you can play e5, and I think this pawn is strong for you. Because now you're going to play like queen e2, rook e1, stuff like that. Typical King's Indian attack stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think taking it with a pawn was better. Okay, but he took out the knight, which is okay because he took with the knight anyway, so it kind of transposed, but... Okay. So now he castled. And okay, here is where you have to really be alert. Okay, so what is black threatening here? It's not something tactical. It's something positional.
He's threatening an attack on my king?
No, nothing that... it's just something that helps him develop his pieces. How does he get this guy out?
With either D, like 6 or 5,
yeah,
or B pawn movement?
Yeah, right. Okay, how does he get this guy out?
With A6 or a D pawn movement?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the thing is he's really threatening to play this move. Because notice, how many center pawns does he have?
2.
And how many do you have?
1.
Right.
And it's sad.
Right. Well, it's not sad. It's actually fine. But 2 is bigger than 1. Okay. But okay, another thing you should notice from this position. Okay, so what square of his is particularly weak?
His... Like in pawns, I guess it would be something like...
No, just square. Just square in general.
F6. Just square?
Yeah.
The D6?
Right. Why is that weak?
Because no pawns can attack it.
Very
anymore.
good. Okay. So... Okay, say you don't make any move of consequence, like say you play here, just for example. Okay, now, is that square D6 weak anymore?
Nope.
Okay, well, technically it sort of is, but not nearly as weak as it was last move. Okay, because see, the problem is the weakness is now shielded by this pawn. So you have to be very, very alert to not let that happen. So what should you have done here?
Is queen d6 a bad move? Then?
No, it's a good move.
That seems really aggressive.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to do here. That's exactly what you need to do. Now, how does he get any pieces out? I have no idea. I don't know what he does here, to be honest.
Oh, I guess.
I mean, like, what does he move? I don't even know what he moves. I mean, he plays knight a6 or something? Okay, so you play... I don't know, you play bishop to g5, maybe? Okay, he moves his queen somewhere. I don't know, queen to b6 or something. You play... I don't know, something like... you play rook to b1 if you want. I mean, and it's just...
Okay.
He's playing down a bishop and down a rook, right? And I don't see how he gets those...
That makes sense.
I don't see how he gets those pieces into the game anytime soon, right? Like, I mean, it just takes him a while. I mean, you know, you have ideas of maybe playing bishop e7, maybe knight e5 takes d7. I mean, all sorts of weird stuff. But I mean, all your pieces are better than all his pieces, is the point. But you only have one chance to do that, because if you don't take advantage of that immediately, he can play d5 and kind of fix the problems in his position. So another thing you could have tried that maybe people were suggesting was this move e5. The idea being, okay, now if he plays d5, what do you play?
En passant.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So now you're fixing. You see how you fix this weakness?
D6? Yes.
Okay. And now the idea is you want to like play knight here, and knight here into d6.
Get your knight.
Right, and you get an eternal knight on d6. So you have to defend this pawn on e5, but And then I was saying during the game that I thought maybe black's best chance was to take on f3 actually and sacrifice the exchange. It looks a little weird, but the idea is when you take back, now he can take on e5. And now he's gotten a pawn for the exchange, and he has these two center pawns that are ready to roll, and you can't really do anything about them, unfortunately. So he can go like bishop c7, and then d5 and e5. So...
okay.
So it's just something to think about. But yeah, I mean, you definitely have to kind of be more proactive in that position and be aggressive. I mean, because your position merits it at this point. Because, okay, how many pieces do you have developed on the queen side? 0, right? So you're ahead in development, your pieces have more scope, and his pawn structure is already compromised by his weird, c6, d7, e6. Looks very Swiss cheesy, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because you really have to exploit the holes that black's creating. Okay, so you played knight d2, which, given the fact that you didn't play e6 or queen d or e5 or queen d6, I can understand, but at the very least, maybe just try to kind of hit the dark squares with, maybe you play like c3 first, and then you play like bishop f4 maybe, just to get your pieces out, because I don't think there's anything wrong with this knight at the moment, to be honest. Because when he does play d5, I think you want to be able to play e5 in response and kind of lock it up and fix this pawn weakness on e6, because then you can play something like bishop h3 and hit it again,
which I did.
So
okay, which I didn't do the entire game.
Right. Well, you didn't have a chance to. Okay.
Right,
so
I moved my knight.
Yeah, well, the problem was your knight on d2, you just kind of kept your bishop stuck almost the whole game. So okay, so he played d5, yeah, which was good. You know what I considered here for you, actually, is this move c4. The idea being you just want to take a bunch on d5 and give him an isolated pawn. And the point is, if he plays d4, then okay, he gets a passed pawn, but your idea is you're going to blockade this pawn on d3 with your knight. So you're going to play like knight to b3, bishop to d2, knight to c1, and knight to d3. And then you'll have these moves b4 and f4 available, because eventually he'll have to play c5 or e5 to defend that d4 pawn. And then you have these pawn breaks b4 or f4 to kind of hit at that pawn chain. And your knight will be really well posted on d3, and his pawn on d4 will kind of be blocking in his pieces, particularly the bishop on g7. And then you can go like rook b1 and then b4 or f4. So so it's kind of like a positional thing you could have done, but I what I really thought you should have done.
I was just watching your video.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
About isolated pawns, and also about passed pawns and how to stop them. But yeah, I thought you should have developed your queen at some point sooner than you did, because you played f4. I don't think, like, I can understand what you were trying to do with f4, but it might be a bit premature, because now you're opening up your king to this diagonal, and he could have actually technically won a pawn. I'm not sure if it's good, but he could have actually won a pawn with this move, bishop takes b2.
I saw that.
And then the idea is if bishop takes b2, queen b6, and he forks your bishop and king. I mean, I'm not even sure if this is good for him necessarily, because his queen is exposed. But I don't think you should have even allowed it. So instead... so like I said, I think instead queen to e2, and then you're like kind of threatening to play e5 maybe, and also you're just getting your queen out, getting maybe where you play rook d1 and c4 again. Okay, so you play f4.
Okay.
Check.
Check. You moved. Okay, knight a6. Right, and so you play rook b1 here. He wasn't actually threatening anything at this point, because if he takes on b2, you just play rook b1 and pin his bishop and win it. So maybe the move e5 here makes a lot of sense, because you block in his bishop and you, again, fix this weakness. And now your idea is you want to plant a knight on d4.
Okay. Okay, so I did have that kind of right.
Yeah, you had the right idea, but it would have been better if you had blocked off the bishops to make it so he couldn't even take the knight on d4. And then also notice how bad his bishop on c8 is.
Yes,
Okay.
it didn't do anything like that entire game.
Yeah. Okay, so you play knight b3. Again, I'm not really sure where you're going from b3, but... Oh, sorry, you played rook b1 first. And then you played, after rook bishop d7, you played knight b3. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure where you're going with this knight. Again, queen e2 made more sense, just to get the queen developed, so that you can maybe play bishop e3 and threaten the queen with tempo. Okay, so you play rook d8. Okay, so... Yeah, this was all fine. Oops. Okay, so you played queen e1 here. I'm not sure why you wanted to keep your queen on the back rank for, but again, I think queen e2 made more sense.
Yeah, right after I moved it, I was saying, like, oh, I really think e2 is a better
Yeah,
move.
I noticed you said that, but...
So,
yeah, I'm not sure why you thought you had to protect your back rank. I mean, e2 defends it just as well. And now you have ideas of queen c4 hitting the e6 pawn, and also you keep your queen option to go to g4 if you want to hit the e6 pawn as well. And also you're hitting the e6 pawn just directly on the e-file.
right.
Yeah, so I mean, it turned out eventually to work out well for you. Okay, so you played bishop e3, which is good. Okay, and now in this position after queen c7, you have to just realize that you just can't take on a7 because it gets trapped. So it's a very common thing where a queenside pawn like that will kind of be undefended, but if a bishop captures it, then the bishop's retreat is blocked off by the pawn. So instead of that, maybe simply queen to f2, and then you actually do threaten to take that pawn, because then if he plays b6, you could just take on b6. So queen f2 would have probably been much better, and then he has to make some sort of positional concession in order to defend the pawn. Did you just miss that he could play b6, or?
Yeah, I just didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's something that's
I
very
was
common. So
thinking I was fine.
yeah, be careful about that. Okay, I'm gonna show you one little trick after b6, because I mean you are losing a piece, but I'm gonna show you one cute little thing. See, you had the right idea actually. You had the right idea, and Flintflicker is right. It's very similar to a move that Fischer played, where he played bishop takes h2 and basically got his bishop trapped on that square in the World Championship match. But okay, so I'm gonna show you a kind of a tricky thing. So you had this right idea of threatening this pawn by playing knight to d4, so that if he takes, you play knight takes c6 and fork his queen and rook. But you could have actually done it in a little bit cuter way. Could have played knight to a5. I know it looks really weird, but the idea is, okay, so if he takes on a7, you take on c6 and fork him, right? And then if he takes on a5, the idea is now your bishop is free to get out. And notice, look at his pawns. Do they look good to you?
Oh, 4 pawn islands.
Yeah, exactly. 4 pawn islands. Okay, so you're down a piece for a pawn, which is not great. But you do have some compensation in the fact that you still have 2 bishops on the board, and his pawns are very weak. So, I mean, you're worse, but it would have been the lesser of the evils. Unfortunately, after you play this move knight to d4, it doesn't really help you so much, because he can just take on d4 before taking your bishop, and you haven't really gained anything other than giving yourself a weak pawn, right?
And he can even get that pawn, because
Yeah.
the rook can take it right after.
Exactly. So, I mean, it was a kind of a hard move to see, and it's a very unusual move, but I just wanted to alert you to the fact that it was possible to play a move like knight a5. I think that would have been stronger. Okay, so you guys exchanged. He took on a7. Okay, he took on c6, which was probably the best. Okay, he plays move knight to b4. And I was going crazy. I was like, well, that's a free piece. And then the chat was going nuts. And then you were like, wait, it's not a free piece. And sure enough, it was. So I guess you playing Queen E1 was a genius move because you goaded Knight B4 somehow. So I don't even know what to say. Like, he just forgot the Queen's move diagonally. I don't know what to say. I mean, and then yeah, something that CloudSat mentioned that I forgot about was he can't actually take this pawn. Do you see why?
Yeah, rook to a1 wins it.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. I actually missed that when I was first talking about it, so it's good that you saw it so quickly. I thought, like, when I first saw it, I thought you could just take on b6, but you're absolutely right. You can play rook a1 and win it. So yeah, I mean, now you're just up 2 pawns, and your position is better because his bishop is terrible, right? And your bishop is good. So it should be pretty elementary for you to win, but the way you did it was actually quite nice, I thought. So you played rook bd1, which is good, because, I mean, why give up this pawn if you don't have to? Like, you could have just taken on b5 first, but you're absolutely right to defend that pawn. I like that a lot. Okay, so you took on b5 with the bishop, which was good, I thought. He played rook b8, you played a4, which was good, I thought. Okay, bishop e8, and you played this move, rook f(e1), which was okay. Maybe queen c4, but I mean, I think this is good too. Whatever.
Check.
Okay, so you played queen e8 check. You played king g1. He played bishop c6. You played rook takes c6, which was good. Okay, so he played bishop h1 now, threatening mate. So I thought, I mean, the way you did it was fine, but I thought maybe a little bit cuter would have been. I know you were thinking about this move, but to play d5 right away.
Yeah, but then I thought, like, couldn't the bishop just take?
Yeah, it can, but there's a trick to it. So he takes, yeah, and it's fine.
Oh, okay.
And then you play rook e7. So the point is, you're threatening to play queen d4, which forks the bishop and mate. And I don't actually see how he stops that move.
Interesting.
So, like, a cute variation is, like, say he plays bishop h1 again
sacrifice.
to threaten the mate. But now you have bishop c4 check.
Check.
And now...
So he would have to, like, sacrifice on f7, like rook f7.
Right, because if he plays king h8, you have queen c3 mate, or mate in 2. But right, even if he plays rook f7, though, it's completely hopeless, though, because you just take on f7 with the bishop check. And then if he moves his king to f8, you have some sort of nasty rook b7 check, and then you take on b8.
Check.
Or actually, you don't take on b8, but you play, I guess, queen d4 check, and then queen h8 mate. So you go like this or something. And then if he goes to h6, I guess you can just play something like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not even doing this right. I probably am not actually. But okay, in this position, instead of rook b7, maybe just. Oh, maybe just maybe just rook a7 check is the move. Although he can take on b4 and then take on a. That doesn't even work that well. Maybe this isn't even. Maybe this is actually tricky still. Jeez. Yeah, rook e8 doesn't even work though. Because they can't take on b8 even because of the g2 mate. But that doesn't even work, does it? So bishop here. Oh, check. I see the point. No, they're right. Okay, so it's double check. Yeah, no, they're right. And then queen f8's mate no matter what he does. Yeah, no, they're right. Yeah. Okay, so you would have a clear win here. Okay, but anyway, so I thought d5 would have been an interesting thing to do because the idea basically is you're gaining a tempo so that he can't mate you, and then with that tempo you're going to mate him basically. That's all. So, but I mean, the move you made was perfectly fine. So you play rook d2 defending the mate. You play queen f3, which didn't even threaten anything. Everyone wanted you to play queen c4 here, but I actually wanted you to play queen c3, so it was good you played queen c3. But queen c4 is good too, of course, because you're threatening some sort of nasty checks, discovered checks. But you play queen d5, and then you play this brilliant move, bishop c4, which is great, because now you're threatening all sorts of mates and whatnot. So you played rook c8, which is relatively best. You played rook takes g6, which is fantastic.
Check. It
wins another pawn, because you're threatening to take with checks. That was a great move. I think it's the best move on the board. He played king h8, so you just simply take his queen. Very good. He took your queen. You simply take his rook. And now if he takes your rook, you just take his bishop up a piece. So he took on d5, which was relatively best. Oops.
Checkmate.
Well, I went forward to the end, but I mean, you played perfectly till the end. So, yeah, I mean, seeing all those tactics was actually really impressive because those tactics were not like trivial. They were not simple tactics. So it was really nice that you were able to kind of calculate that whole thing through.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah,
So
and
as long as
like I
don't
said,
have
except for
pieces, I
not
like
playing
it.
queen d6 and just that bishop takes a7, like I thought you played really well, like way above your rating and way above someone who's only played for a couple of months. So I mean, I can tell you're improving by leaps and bounds. So no doubt that your rating's going to improve on ICC. I mean, you're definitely underrated on ICC by at least 150 points, if not more. So just have to kind of just keep it consistent, because it like that move bishop takes a7 didn't seem consistent with the rest of how you played, So if you could just keep the rest of the game the way you played 98% of the game, you'll be in great shape.
Perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
well, thanks. That helped a lot.
Yeah, no problem. It was a really entertaining game, and the chat was very excited by it. So you did real good.
Perfect.
Okay, so I appreciate you coming on, and I'll talk to you on the stream.
Perfect.
Okay,
Goodbye.
bye.